by Champions. Vortex Racing components are made from aerospace grade billet aluminum to the tightest tolerances. Vortex is pleased and proud to bring you. It's right here. I have it written a skosh.
What are you, bro?
What are you doing?
Amateur hour.
I know.
Your setup's off, and you're just rattling.
Let's get Adam on. What's up, AC?
What up, man? That was a long lead in.
I know, right? Hey, I was supposed to bring you via the Skosh guys, and I said Vortex, and you're supposed to be from Skosh. So
It's all right.
yeah, whatever, bro. I mean, hey, shit happens, right?
Typical hack.
Hey, so we had Chad on the show earlier, and I got to thinking, like, you're such a historian of the sport. You love it so much. You followed it so much. And obviously, Chad is not at his prime, right? He's having a tough year. But is it still cool for you to be out there with Chad Reed? I would think it would be.
Oh, man, absolutely. I mean, just to think back to, I don't know if I've told this story on the show before, but I wasn't a big Chad Reed fan when I was an RC guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember in 2005 San Diego, I was watching Chad. I mean, it must have been 8 or 9.
Yep.
And Chad, but the whoops were big at San Diego, and he straight up ran down RC and beat him. And I remember crying, like straight up tears running down my face, like straight up crying. And it's just funny coming from, I think back at that moment, right? Like Chad is still in his prime, whatever, early in his prime, and then now just seeing, like, every time I see Chad, like, I roll up for practice, I go right next to him, I'm like, what's up, dude? Like, what you doing? Like, what's up? I do think it's super cool.
Yeah, I would think you would. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of came to me that, like, this is last year, so you're not going to have a chance. This is it for you to intersect with him, So.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I try to explain it to people. I would be the biggest fan the sport ever had if I didn't race, So just the fact that, I mean, there's a sense of, like, I have to act like I've been there before, because obviously there's got to be some normalcy to it. But I still do enjoy stuff like that.
And I think, Adam, it's Randy from Michelin here. I think it's not just you that's cherishing this opportunity to ride with Chad. I think Marty moved up early to get to have this last year with Chad, right? Didn't he? Did he move up early?
Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking.
Makes sense.
Marty, every time I interview Marty, Adam, after the race, he's like, I don't know what I was doing out there. That's what Marty tells me every time. He tells me that every time.
Oh, man. I jumped into Marty in the back of the heat race. You see that one?
No, I think I missed it.
Yeah, those back-to-back doubles after the sand wall?
Yep.
He must have cased the first one or something, and I was in the air, and he was dead stop. I just jumped right into his back tire.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, great time.
I don't know what I was doing out there. It's like, Marty, he pulled together here.
That's the second time Marty's taken me down so far this season.
Right.
One figuratively, one literally.
Super Bowl thoughts? I'm putting you on the spot here, but Super Bowl thoughts?
I'm 1,000 in the hole.
Are you really?
Yeah. I really thought I'm a big Patrick Mahomes fan. I think he's awesome, and I figured he was going to get a few rings at some point anyway. So I just trusted the defense a little bit more, the 49ers, and they really got away from the run game there at the end. It kind of it bummed me out, but no, I'm stoked for those guys. Andy Reid needed one.
Yeah, I was telling you all of my bets, that I had, and after all of that, on all the wins and all the losses, I'm up like $80.
Really?
Yeah. It was.
I just did it. I just did a straight bet on the 49ers. Probably not my best move.
Hey, so you want to clarify for Oakland? You didn't get tired. Your arm got pumped up.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate even bringing it up. It's like one of those things I feel like.
Your interview was funny, though. It was funny.
Yeah, I try to be transparent, but at a certain point, it's, I don't know. I try to be honest all the time, whether it looks good for me or looks bad for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives me a little bit more credibility. But, yeah, my right arm was so locked up. I was going by the mechanics area with, 6 minutes to go, and we had that little hip jump we were jumping over before the wall, and I was scared that my right arm was going to blow off the handlebar right there. and then I saw Cooper coming. I obviously tightened up. Those guys were going really fast. I'm not trying to say that I would be trying to get around them or whatever if my arm wasn't tight, but regardless, Cooper was coming, and then he got close to me, and I was so tight. Anybody that knows, the feeling of just getting tight, it's almost worse than just being tired. I would have more fight in me if I was tired, but by the time he got to me, I was like, listen, man, You seem like you're going to the front, and I'm not. So, like, basically, here you go. So.
Hey, you seem really fresh right now. Like, yeah. So your arm.
Like, hey, you seem like you got some hot lines. But yeah, so it's funny. I thought he was like right behind me. Then I watched the replay, and I could have gone around the corner twice fast, and he wouldn't have passed me. And I just look like such a bitch. But
Yeah. Well. Yeah. What's been your favorite track so far? I think they've all been good.
Favorite track so far?
Yeah.
I'd have to go. Yeah, they've all been pretty good. I wasn't a huge fan of this last weekend's track. Like that tight stuff really throws me for a loop sometimes.
Yep.
Although I do feel like I was a little bit better this weekend. I think Glendale's fun. I just love the long lanes. Everybody does.
Yeah.
Glendale is sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty good.
Big fan.
Randy, how about that pass on Eli early by the kid?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Dylan didn't like it, did he?
No, Dylan did not like it.
Did not like it.
We have a super fan, Eli Tomac super fan. He did not like that pass.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. It's crazy in the 450 class compared to the 250 classes. One of the biggest differences for me is if you aren't going forward in the 450 class, you're going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you are not racing forward and trying to pass the guy in front of you, like I talked about it after the race with you. Once I passed Eli and obviously knew he was behind me, and I knew to myself right then, going over the finish line, looking at the 94 bike, I knew if I didn't pass him,
yep.
I was going backwards. Like I was not going to stay in that position, and
right.
that's going to happen, 90% of the time. So it's like it doesn't matter, who it is in front of you, you got to get them.
Yeah, absolutely right. Because someone's coming. Someone is coming.
Someone is coming at all times, and it's like. It's crazy because it's different guys every weekend. Like even this weekend, Blake Baggett. I mean, I know he didn't have a great main event, but it's like it just seems like there's a couple guys that are just ripping.
Yeah.
On top of the already 5 or 6 guys that are good every weekend, and then you throw in another 2 that are just gelling on the track or whatever.
Who's been a guy in 450 class that's like obviously you know that Roxon and Anderson and Eli and all that that they're good. They're awesome, but. And you have a lot of respect for all the guys, but who's been the guy that you're like, oh, I didn't think this dude was that good, or this guy's he puts up more of a fight than I thought, or has there been a guy that's opened your eyes?
No, to be honest with you, no, not really. I think one of the biggest things that I see, like even from this weekend, I think as far as surprising, and it's just being out there and being with them, but seeing the contrast in riding style between Ken and between Eli is pretty astounding, and how they, for the most part, can go pretty equally as fast and just do it so differently. That I didn't see from being at the sidelines and even riding with them both separately. Like getting a chance to be behind both of them when I was out there. It's crazy. I can't even hear my bike when I'm behind Eli, and when I'm behind Ken, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. Because he makes it look so easy. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but no, I did tell Zacho a couple weeks ago that I would just prefer not to see him for the rest of the season on the track. I've known he's had a lot of fight in him for a long time, so that's no surprise.
Yeah. You're just like, hey, buddy, can we just clear it?
Yeah, like, please just don't look at me. I told him, I think that's what I told him. Just don't even look at me, please.
Right. Eli, I would imagine being ahead of Eli Tomac would be like being ahead of like a rabid badger or like a crazy badger or maybe, some sort of like, I don't know, Cujo, something.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty crazy. But what's crazy is a couple years ago, I'm looking up to those guys in that class, and I'm thinking to myself, like I'm sitting on the gate of the 250 race, thinking to myself, like, look at these monsters. Like I'm gonna have to do this. Like look at these guys, man. This is insane. Like what am I gonna do? Like I think I'm gonna need to quit, work at Starbucks, do something. And then it's just crazy how fast everything happens, and then now I'm there. Yeah. And I've just convinced myself that I'm just as good as them. So it's just crazy the mindset, how quick it changes. But it's fun being up there with them, man.
Yeah, I was thinking like your answer would be like, dude, I had no idea that like 40-year-old Justin Brayton's got these skills or something. Like it's like this guy. I'm behind Brayton, and he's just like No,
I knew how good Justin is. Nobody's really surprised me. It's just a difference in execution and with the between the classes. You just have to be so good to win.
Or like,
You just have to be so on it. Like I've won plenty of times on 250s where I feel like I left a lot out there.
yeah.
And you just can't do it.
You don't fall into a 450 Supercross win, huh? Is that what you're telling us?
No. And it's like, and what I told, obviously I got pumped up this weekend, whatever. But if you have to put yourself in good position, and then you have to be so good from 17 minutes on to close the thing out. Because if somebody's close to you, that's a lot on the line. They're going to do everything they possibly can. And if it's not Kenny one weekend, it's Cooper. If it's not Cooper, it's going to be Eli or Anderson or somebody else. So, it's really fun.
Or I was waiting for you to be like, dude, I come up on Alex Ray and I don't know which way he's going to go, which I've heard from another guy. I heard from another guy.
I did when you falsely reported that I didn't finish the last main event in Glendale, which I did.
Yep.
I was talking to A-Ray because I was sitting there. The Asterisk guys wouldn't let me go until everybody had crossed, or basically everybody was done.
Right.
And I was determined to go roll up the finish line. Yep. And A-Ray comes coming head on with me as I'm sitting to the left of the whoops. He went around the whoops the last lap. Like he's just by himself out there going around the whoops. I thought about filing a protest, maybe seeing if I could jump up and play.
Yeah.
I checked into it. Wouldn't have mattered anyway, or else I would have filed a protest.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's funny. How's the tailbone? Is it all right? He's still feeling it? Still feeling the effects?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's like riding is not crazy bad, even considering my quad attempt this weekend. It's not so bad, but it's just really everything else. Like I'm sitting on my couch right now, like basically laying on my side, like keeled over. It's just a tough position for it to to be in, and it's just a bone bruise. This is going to take a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam Cianciarulo on the show, brought to you by Vortex Racing. Same sprocket that Stu used to win a title. Vortex, Adam.
Speaking of Cujo.
What a legend, exactly. I'm just glad he's back. He's back in the sport. He's back around.
Are we getting a review this weekend, you think?
I don't know. There was nothing last week, and someone real close to the situation told me that it wasn't his doing. He wanted he wanted to do one.
Really?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to get his take on the Triple Crown, having him never having done one of those, right? Get his opinion on that for the sport in general.
Yeah.
Think we can get him to race one?
I'd love to. I'd love it.
I mean, that would be great. I'd give him my bike.
Adam Cianciarulo out for the night.
Yeah.
James Stewart's bike. All right, we got some calls for you here. First up is Dylan, not the Dylan, but a Dylan. Dylan, what's up? What's your question for Adam Cianciarulo?
Hey, guys. Adam, since you stepped up to the 450 class, have you noticed a change in your racecraft, like, how you look at the track or kind of how you would manage a race?
I mean, obviously I'm still in the beginning stages, but it's about trying to predict like how the track's going to break down pretty much. I mean, it's basically a completely different race after 12 minutes than what I'm used to. So it's just that part where I've been learning the most, I guess. It's just kind of adapting the track, and you have to change lines multiple times in a 450 race as opposed to 250. So I think it's just about kind of getting that down.
Yeah, and then I think the 9 looks sweet over the 92, but and then
you think the 9 looks? What'd you say? The 9 looks sweet?
Yeah, okay, I think it looked better than 92.
All right.
And then just saying that I got the Starcross finals from listening to the show in the sweet Randy. So.
Awesome. You're welcome, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, see you guys.
Cool. Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate it. Yeah, Dylan, buying the Starcross 5s. Justin, what's your question for Adam Cianciarulo, Justin?
First of all, I want to say hi to Randy Richardson. It's a pleasure to be on the same airlines as you, sir.
Wow. You do know that Adam Cianciarulo's on the line, right? Just making sure.
I'm getting the AC.
All righty, good. Thanks for the kind words, man.
Hey, AC, I was curious because you seem like a student of the sport, and so like when I was a kid, I used to go back and I'd like watch old supercrosses to put me to sleep and stuff. And one of my favorite races was I was a Chad Reed fan, but one of my favorite races was I think it was in Phoenix, where Reed and Lusk and Carmichael all go down to the wire, and I think Ezra takes it. Do you have any races like that you look back at and they're just like really good races in your mind that really like made you want to be a pro?
Oh yeah, man. There's a lot. I mean, one of the ones that stands out to me the most was Orlando 07. I was there. Ricky's last Supercross. Him and James going back and forth. That was
yeah.
cool.
That was
and
epic.
then watching on TV and stuff like that, I remember, I mean, when I was super, super young, I got a VHS tape, 1999, Bar to Bar, and I had this little TV I would take everywhere with me, and I'd watch that over and over again back in those days. So I still remember Randy Lawrence putting a smiley face on Jeremy McGrath's pit board the last lap. He was winning the championship at Vegas. Like, stuff like that kind of stands out in my mind.
Was that the same year Mike Brown launched into the starting gate?
I don't remember.
Couldn't tell you.
I do remember the Mike Brown launching the starting gate, but I can't remember what year that is. Thanks, man. Thanks for the call.
Thanks for your time.
Appreciate it. Were you at Orlando 05, AC?
Orlando 05. God, no. I don't think so, because I think that's right around Spring Nationals time.
Because I got Mechanic of the Night that night.
Did you really?
Got interviewed on the podium and everything.
I did. I do remember mechanic related. I do remember being at U.S. Open the last year they had it in 09, and they had the tire change challenge.
Yep.
And I was blown away. Carlos dominated it.
He did.
And I was absolutely blown away.
Everyone was saying Carlos cheated, though. They had quick removal stuff and everything. They weren't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people weren't too happy. They all did this little stuff to make it better, but
Too
I
late
don't
to
know.
file a protest?
I think so. I think it is. Yeah. Man, when Stu hit the scene in 05, it was awesome.
Oh man. Going into 05 was the most excited I think I've probably ever been.
It was on. Like, all of us were just like, oh my God, it's Stu.
This is unbelievable.
Yep. And because you still had Chad, right? Like, Chad was, like a bad dude.
Oh, yeah. And Wyndham, too.
Yep.
Keith Voss.
And Tim Ferry.
Yep.
All right. Question from Nash. Nash, what's up?
Gentlemen!
How are you, Nash?
Dude, coming in hot. FMP's on. Cianciarulo, my guy.
Yep.
Loving life. I gotta ask, how is T-Way? How are you containing Nick Way, even a spillover of T-Way, and how is Nick Way affecting your bike setup ability?
I mean, he's positive changes only. I think Nick's awesome. I really give him too much of a hard time, man. I wish somebody. Actually, I don't wish. But if you heard half the stuff I say to him on a daily basis, I don't know how he hasn't clipped me from the program yet. To be honest with you.
Like what? There's something you jeer at him.
I mean, I just am. I can't say what I say to him on here. I would never would in my life. But I don't know. I mean, I just always harped on him about being old, and it's bad. It's bad.
But
he's funny because he's such an upstanding citizen. He's like such a good dude.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm bringing him down at all times, but I just can't help myself. I really can't.
I was telling Jenna that I thought Nick was keeping it too serious because he's been very serious to me this year.
That's what I said.
Okay. And
I told him this weekend, I said, listen, man, I'm going to have to act like your life doesn't depend on this, all right?
Right. Dude, like, I know Nick Way well, right? I mean, I know the guy forever, and, like, he's very serious. And, like, I get it. There's time to be serious, but, dude, I know how he is. Like,
I know. And not to throw him under the bus too hard, but I'm like, I have the new Kawasaki rig. It's super cool. It's got a couple, Steve, you've seen it, but it's got basically a couple rooms on the top, like where we get changed. I have my own TV and like a little pull-out couch, basically. And, and I have Netflix in there. DirecTV and the NBC Sports Gold. I have all the stuff up there, right? So when we had like 6 hours between, last practice and opening ceremonies, I'm up there. I was watching some documentary on Netflix or something. He's like pacing back and forth, pulling the track map up on his phone, pointing stuff out, showing me videos from starts last week. I'm like, listen, man, you need to chill. All right, let's take a break.
AC, keep going.
No, I do. I mean, I appreciate that. Obviously, he just wants the absolute best for me, and I have been a little sketchy here and there, so I got him on his coat.
Well,
yeah.
His passion, and his focus. I love it. A1, I know it's 5 races ago, but there's a beautiful camera shot of him just like full on staring at you at the start of the main, like super focused, as any trainer and riding coach should be. But it's just Nick Way taking it to the next level. We love it. Home run.
Thanks, Nash. Thanks.
Go get him, fellas. Go get him. Cheers.
Thank you, Nash. Appreciate it. Your phone's got a bad echo, AC, so if you can, like, move around or something. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, it's really weird.
Maybe roll over on that other hip
Yeah.
if you can.
Yeah, he's got to lighten the mood up a little bit. Like, come on. Let's.
I saw him in passing early Saturday morning, Steve, when you and I got there, and chatted with him a minute. And you're right. Normally he's the jovial, quick-witted, and he did seem quite serious. And I thought it was just the moment. But if he's that way all the time, and I had one question. I know he's working with McAdoo now, and obviously that's going well. He got his first heat race win on the weekend. Do you think it's?
Oh yeah, I was freaking out.
Yeah. Do you think Nick's just more focused on him juggling having two riders, or do you think that's what's weighing heavier on him, or what?
No, I really, as much as I joke around, I think he's. I don't notice much change in Nick from this year and from any other year. I think he's obviously focused on trying to get us to do our best, and having another rider and I think Cameron is riding really well, and he made a lot of progress this offseason too. So I think he just wants to get everything out of it. And of course, Cameron having that little crash, and me doing the same thing last weekend. It's like maybe just got him a little bit on edge, but I don't know. It's a high stress sport. I don't blame him.
Come on, I like to keep it light.
He's fine.
I keep it light.
No, he does. He does, man. Did you see my Instagram story this weekend?
Yeah, he was dancing or something. I don't know what was going on. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a killer Bluetooth system up there too. It's nice.
Nice to hear that for sure. All right, San Diego this weekend. So, what do you think?
What do you mean?
Good track? You like the track map? You like San Diego? Thoughts on San Diego
I like
in general?
the stadium.
Yep.
I like the stadium. The hotel's nice too. It's just a walk across.
Oh, are you at the Omni?
Right there last year.
Yep. You at the Omni? Right, yeah. Yeah.
What's that?
You're at the Omni there? Right there?
Yeah, obviously. I think I remember it must have been, what was it, 2017 Redbud. As soon as I saw you in the morning, I gave you the finger, and I won that day. And I think every time I'm nice to you, I do bad. So
Yeah, I wasn't happy with the treatment this weekend, but you didn't win, but you did pretty well. I mean, I think you should be happy with it, and you were mean to me, so that might work out. Keep doing that.
I won fourth.
Yeah, you got fourth. Yeah, it's true. God, hey, at one point, you're reeling in Kenny a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh, here we go, because
it's pretty crazy how fast the tide, it kind of turned there, and I lost by like 14 seconds, but
yeah.
No, it's just like I said, if you're not good in the last 5 laps, like the last 5 laps need to be some of your best, and that was the difference between me being fourth and me, being second, basically.
Yeah.
There was a time in the race there, like 5 minutes, 30 seconds left, where I either had to go and get Kenny and get second or get fourth, and I chose the latter.
Well, because Coop had somewhere to go, it looked like. Coop had
that, and then, I mean, you could see my lap times just absolutely just hit the wall. I was, and I stalled the bike. After Coop passed me, I hit the double in the wall jump left, double right, double going into that little
corner thing.
Just grabbed a handful of front brake and stalled that thing. Electric start.
Boom!
Win.
Fired right up. 250F. Still not electric start. You would have been struggling. Yeah, you would have.
I'd probably still be sitting there.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, how's Oscar been? How's that been?
Yeah, he's been really good, man.
Yep.
I was surprised that he told me he was working for Chad in like '99.
Yeah,
in Europe. Like that is a long time. It's crazy. I look at Oscar, before he came to Cowie, and I always thought he was like, I don't know, 30, like 29. I don't know why. I just didn't think he's been around that long, But
dude,
no, he's got so much knowledge and so much experience, and it's cool having. Like I have a lot of people in my corner that have been doing it a long time. Like his experience is invaluable with Nick as well. Like and those two together, I think they have a lot of respect for each other too,
right.
and that team works really good. And the communication is really important, obviously, when it comes to setting up these things. So it's been great.
Dude, we got the Yamaha with Chad in 03, and he's talking about this Swedish mechanic he's going to get over one day. This guy's the smartest guy ever. He's amazing. He's from Sweden. I had him in Europe. We're like, what are we, like, chopped liver? Like, are we garbage? Like, what's the deal here? And finally I found out it was Oscar. I'm like, oh, God, it's this guy. Here's the super mechanic here from Sweden. So,
Yep.
all right, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming on, Adam. Appreciate it. And
Of course.
I was kind of waiting to get you on. I know we cold call you after A1, but I'm like, look, he's going to win any weekend here. So I'm going to wait till he wins, and I'm going to get him on. And then you haven't won yet. I'm like, I don't care. Screw it. I'm getting him on. Like, our listeners like you.
Wow,
you
so
know.
you're losing faith now. I was up in it. I couldn't make it happen. Now we're going to pull the trigger on the fourth because we're not quite sure when I'm going to be inside the top 5 again. Got it.
No. That's not it. We can't go too long without getting you on. And I'm like, screw it. It's been like, 4 weeks. So got to get him on. Forget it. I don't care how he does. So that was it. But I think a win is coming. I just don't know when or where. But you're very impressive in your rookie 450 year. That's for sure. So,
thank you. We're gonna send it.
Fantastic. Like to hear that. Thanks, Adam.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good one.
See you. That's Adam Cianciarulo, everybody, from Vortex, brought to you by Vortex Racing. Email Jake at vortexracing.com. Use the code PulpMX 2020 as well. Stu used Vortex. Adam's phone was echoey, really shitty. So
Yeah, it was.
Kind of ended it a little bit early, but